All right, go ahead, Chief.
Late last night, we got a call from a Walmart employee that they were conduct a welfare check in a tractor trailer that was parked in a lot here. He was approached by someone from that truck who was asking for water. Came back with the water, called the police. We arrived on the scene and found 8 people dead in the back of that trailer. There were a number of other people that Chief Hood will talk about who were transported to local hospitals. Checking the video from the store, we found that there were a number of vehicles that came in and picked up a lot of the folks that were in that trailer that survived the trip. We're looking at a human trafficking crime here this evening. Department of Homeland Security is involved. They're working with us. Homicide will work with them to determine the origin of this horrific tragedy. And again, right now we're looking at eight dead. Appears to be some juveniles, some adults in their 20s and 30s. And as far as the people who are taken to the hospitals go, I'm going to let Chief Hood brief you on those numbers. Charles.
Good evening, Charles Hood, San Antonio Fire Department. We arrived at 1226 to 8538 IH35 southbound. Engine 25, medic 25 arrived. PD was already on scene. We started extricating patients out of the back of a semi-truck. The air conditioning was not working, so everyone was removed. During that time, we had 8 patients that were deceased. We had another 20 patients that were either in extremely critical condition or very serious condition, and they've been transported to a number of hospitals. We also had 8 that were less of severity that have been transported by our ambulance to another hospital. We utilized helicopters to fly patients out. We utilized at least 7 area hospitals to transport these people out. Our paramedics and firefighters found that each one of them had heart rates over about 130 beats per minute, which again, they were very hot to the touch. So these people were in that trailer without any signs of any type of water. So you're looking at a lot of heat stroke, a lot of dehydration. As Chief McManus mentioned, we do have at least 2 school-age children that we know about. The demographics will probably change in the morning as far as males or females. But again, 8 deceased, 20 that have been transported to 7 area hospitals. 8 more that have been transported that are less critical. We're very fortunate that there weren't 38 of these people that were all locked inside that vehicle dead, but again, very sad incident that our police and fire departments have responded on. I'll take questions after Chief McManus finishes up.
Questions?
Yeah, how many were in the trailer?
Well, we're looking at what,
38.
38?
And do you know where the trailer came from?
We don't. That's part of the investigation.
Do we have any suspects?
We have an individual in custody who was driving.
How long has the truck been parked here?
We don't know. We're assuming that it probably hasn't been there too long prior to the police being called, because an individual who had gotten out of the back of that truck approached the employee of Walmart. The employee is who called us, who called the police.
How did that individual get out of the truck, and did any others follow?
I don't know for certain. I'm going to assume that since the driver was on the scene, that someone from the outside let him out, the driver. We're going to assume. I don't know if that's factual or not, but I'm assuming that that's.
How many kids did you have?
There were. Well, Chief Hood said there were 2. The numbers.
At least 2 school-age children, but again, that demographic will probably change in the morning. We do have medic officers at each hospital. We've triaged each one of these people. It was a mass casualty situation for us, so we treated it just like you would do an airline crash or any kind of major incident. So each one of those persons has a number and a tag. We're going to have to reconcile who they are and the sexes, and all of those things will come up in the morning, but we for sure know there were 2 school-age children that were transported.
Did any of the captives try to escape through the nearby woods?
There were some that some went into the woods. We checked. We're going to have to do that search again in the morning. We looked with the helicopter and with on foot, but we're going to do that again in the morning when we got some light.
What are the conditions of the other 10? You said there are a total of 38 people in there,
We
right?
took a total of 38. There's a total of 38 in the incident that we know of so far. 8 are deceased that are on the scene still. 20 have been transported to area hospitals. A number of those are critical. A number of those are very severe. So that is a total of 20. So that's priorities 1s and 2s. There are another 8 that were transported that are not as severe, that just need to be rehydrated. So that is the total number we're looking at right now.
Where are they going to be taken?
They've all been taken to area hospitals, 7 different hospitals. So we flooded downtown San Antonio and our critical care hospitals with patients tonight, but we do have bed space available if anything else happens tonight, so that's a good thing.
After these people are treated, what will happen to them?
They'll be investigated by ICE.
And as far as the police action is concerned, you'll talk to the man that was the driver, and what else?
The driver and whomever else we find that's involved in this will be facing state and federal charges.
Any ID on the driver at this point?
I don't have that information yet.
Is it local? Is it local? Somebody on Facebook asked if the truck has any markings, or we know where the truck came
It's
from.
I don't know. The truck is in good shape. I don't know who owns it, or we'll find all that information out.
Is there surveillance video of the truck arriving?
We are reviewing surveillance video, yes.
Any details about the contents of the truck you care to share at this point?
I don't know if there was anything else in there, but people.
The truck was loaded with people.
For the people who live in the area, who may come across people in trouble in the dark, thousands of people are following along here. If somebody finds somebody, there's a huge neighborhood right beyond this Walmart. If somebody finds somebody in distress, what do you recommend?
They needed to call 911 right away. This is not an isolated incident. This happens quite frequently. Fortunately, we came across this one. Unfortunately, there are people who survive, but this happens all the time. And if you see something like this happening, and you can see that it happens late at night, under darkness, because they don't want to be discovered, obviously. But if anybody who sees anything like this, people being transferred out of the back of a trailer, or people being transferred from some vehicle to another vehicle, then they need to call 911.
But there may be sick people out there right now
Yes.
who are just trying to survive
Yeah,
and
call
plan to
911.
survive.
Yes.
Well, the ages ranged from what age to what age, you said?
There were young children in the back of the trailer, and it appears that the others in their 20s and 30s.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time, guys.